Welcome to the 2B's TV channel, everyone. Gucci Mane and Jeezy agreed to do a Verzuz battle after Guwap said he wouldn't do it unless they got $1 million. But it's actually happening for real, and it's a better matchup than the original T.I. and Jeezy battle, in my opinion. While many fans are excited for the popular virtual series to return, older hip-hop fans are shook for these two to be in the same building, knowing the deep-rooted beef that they share. This ain't one of them little internet rap beefs. This bochinche involves multiple diss tracks, physical altercations, a 10K bounty on a chain, and the death of one of Jeezy's homies. Let's go into a deep dive inside of the evolution of Jeezy and Gucci Mane's relationship. Young Jeezy and Gucci began their working relationship with the song Black Tea, which was a flip to them franchise boys' hit single, White Tea. In his autobiography, Gucci compared Jeezy to a poor man's Trick Daddy, and in true Gucci fashion, he opened doors for his fellow Atlantean. But the beef started over the track So Icy, which Jeezy wanted on his debut album, Thug Motivation 101. But instead, it was on Gucci's Trap House. So Icy went on to peak at number 46 on Billboard's hip-hop and R&B charts and had a huge impact in the South. Of course, Jeezy, feeling like he missed out, was big mad and later claimed that he wasn't even paid for his appearance. That same month, Jeezy, also known as Snowman at the time, dropped the Gucci diss record called Stay Strapped and put a bounty on the rapper's chain.
Yeah, nigga, cause the niggas embarrassing us, cuz. So if he come to your town, he just happen to snatch that motherfucker off his neck or knock that motherfucker off his neck. When I come to your town, shoot it to me, I'ma shoot the 10 stack, man, so we can cremate that motherfucker. Cremate that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That shit bullshit, nigga.
Guwap clearly caught wind of Jeezy's song and quickly responded with the song Round 1. Gucci prepared himself for one of hip-hop's long-standing Cold Wars when he said, "This is round 1 of Gucci Mane versus Jeezy." Their war of words turned violent shortly after they traded diss tracks. Gucci was trying to get some cutty in May 2005 when 4 men broke into his home and began assaulting him. After they threatened to shoot him, Gucci jumped into survival mode and started shooting first. He ended up hitting Jeezy's mans and artist, Pookie Loc, who was found dead at a nearby elementary school. A warrant was issued for Gucci's arrest, and he turned himself in. Murder was the case that they gave him, but he got off after claiming self-defense. Gucci accused Jeezy of trying to kill him and spoke about their strained relationship in an old interview.
Nigga tried to get my song on his album, and after he couldn't do it, you know what I mean, just bitch came out of it.
So what he started doing exactly?
You know, it's just making diss records. Going on the radio saying little shit. You know what I'm saying, popping shit to niggas and shit.
Was he doing that in Atlanta or in markets that you might not have been in?
He was going to markets I ain't been in yet and do a show before I get there and tell them don't buy my record when it come out.
You actually heard that cats was saying, like, don't buy Gucci album.
I seen it on videotape.
Even though Pookie Loc was signed to Jeezy's label, he denied having any involvement in the mix-up. He claimed Gucci was using the situation as leverage to sell his records, but the situation was honestly selling itself. 9 months after being charged with murder, Gucci was acquitted after maintaining that he acted in self-defense, and an eyewitness supported his claims, so prosecutors had no evidence of a murder case, and they let the rapper walk away. Things were calm for about 5 months after the acquittal until Gucci released 745 from left field. He continued to defend retaliating against his attackers and continued claiming that Jeezy put the hit out on him. Fast forward to the late 2000s mixtape era, DJ Drama was the hottest thing out and he frequently collaborated with Young Jeezy. But clearly he didn't have any loyalty to him because in 2008, DJ Drama collaborated with Gucci Mane for the movie Gangsta Grillz mixtape. About 4 months later, after screening for Notorious, members from Jeezy's crew got into a physical fight with Drama and his company. Jeezy later called the DJ the B-word and a cornball in an XXL magazine interview. Quality Control's Coach K was no longer managing Jeezy by 2007 and assisted Gucci with his upcoming project, The State vs. Roderick Davis, which went on to be his most successful project at the time. Tension rebuilt between the two, and Jeezy dropped another song called 2423, and he took another swipe at Gucci and OJ the Juice Man. The following month, Gucci graced the cover of XXL for their second annual Hood to Hood cover alongside Shorty Low, OJ, and Soulja Boy. In the cover story, the Atlanta rappers were asked about the possibility of reuniting with their former rivals. Gucci started off saying that he didn't have an answer, but he did acknowledge that beef is bad for business. But he made it clear that he's not trying to be played for no pussy. Time went on, and at that point, both artists made their marks on the culture. Gucci was in and out of jail, and Jeezy was having a commercially successful career thanks to Def Jam, who was really pushing him hard. Jeezy called a truce in their beef live on DJ Drama's radio show, and this was a monumental moment for the culture. Gucci Mane was doing a 6-month sentence at Fulton County Jail at the time for a probation violation, but he announced that he will be collaborating with Jeezy again, and it seemed like things were taking a positive turn. Until Waka Flocka and Gucci's entourage got into a brawl with Jeezy's crew outside of an Atlanta clothing store. Waka's security drew their weapons during the scuffle, and Slick Pulla from Jeezy's crew blacked Waka's eye. Neither Gucci or Jeezy were present during the incident, but there were no talks of their possible collaboration after that moment. In fact, Gucci backpedaled and said he'd never work with Jeezy again, but he did acknowledge that their beef was squashed on Sway's Rap Fix live show. A few months after, Jeezy also spoke to Sway and said their feud was all a misunderstanding. Apparently, Jeezy had a secret throat surgery and was unable to do a live performance of So Icy with Gucci, and things went left from there. Why couldn't Jeezy just say he was on bed rest or his deathbed like he said? We'll probably learn more about the story during the Verzuz tonight. Their beef was pretty much iced tea at this point until Gucci appeared on The Breakfast Club and spoke about Rick Ross's altercation with Jeezy at the 2012 BET Hip Hop Awards.
I don't got no respect for him. I just, you know what I'm saying?
Ignore
I did what I had to do.
Mm-hmm. Did you curse Drama out after that phone call? Like, man, why you put me on the phone with this boy, man? You know it can't go down like that.
You know.
Jeezy responded days later, clowning Gucci for his notorious ice cream face tattoo, and basically said it's not worth his time going back and forth with Gucci. Gucci then hopped in the booth and dropped one of the biggest songs to come out of the beef called Truth. In the song, Gucci referenced when he killed Pookie Loc in 2005. That same day, LaFleur hopped on Twitter and bet $100K that he can beat Jeezy up. A year later, Gucci Mane's infamous Twitter moment when he called out the top 3 pussiest rappers and listed Jeezy with T.I. and Yo Gotti happened. Jeezy didn't respond to the diss track or the additional commentary. It honestly sounded like he was over it and ready to move on from his last response. But Jeezy did open up about his friend's death for the first time on his song Forgive Me. He denied any involvement in the incident, once again rapping,
Rest in peace to Pookie Loc. Blame it on me, never snitch. Lord knows I ain't sitting on me on no dummy mission. Wanna be like Uncle Wayne.
Gucci Mane was released from jail in May 2016, and he was in rare form. Some fans believe this crazy conspiracy theory that he was cloned. There's no proof that there's any truth to that, but he's definitely a new, more calm Gucci. In an interview, the late hip-hop podcast pioneer Comeback Jack asked Jeezy if he planned to speak to Gucci, and he said, "Me and mine. If it got something to do with that, if it doesn't, honest man, I'm grown." Fast forward to present day, and we're all locked inside because of the coronavirus pandemic. So many things have happened this year, and Gucci and Jeezy being in the same room is very on brand for 2020. I'm here for it, considering the constant grieving that the hip-hop community has been feeling since the year started. Seeing an evolved Gucci and Jeezy publicly set aside their differences to do a good thing for the culture would do some good for the soul. But I must admit, I am shooketh and I'm not even in the A. Gucci was giving old Gucci vibes after resharing a meme that referenced Pookie's death. But I think that was all a part of the marketing to build hype for the virtual event. I hope. They also have a club hosting in the middle of the pandy, but the coronavirus clearly doesn't exist in Atlanta. I hope you enjoyed my deep dive. If you want more documentary style stories like this, subscribe to the 2B's TV YouTube channel.